we want to say a big welcome to every other person, you know. So thank you and thank you for being here once again. Our program of event is we have quite a small one. We have a brief talk about Niger voices and Nigerian languages, which will be coordinated or anchored by Chris. Then we have tips for proposal writing. Here we're going to listen to some of our reviewers share their views about what they encountered during these events. And then we'll have the announcement of the award. The winners of the award will be announced. And then we have the feedback from these winners. They're going to just talk to us briefly about what they are doing. Yeah. Then we have vote of thanks and then close. So thank you all once again for being here with us. And we are just ready to take the very first event, which is Niger Voices and Nigerian Languages. If Chris, if you're in the house, if we're ready, then so we can just get on with that one.
Okay. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. It is my esteemed honor to welcome you to the award ceremony of the Niger Voices Language Heritage Micro Grant. We have been working with and building the Niger Voices community of over 5,000 community members, speakers, and comprising different roles for the past 2 years. And we are very proud of how much we have accomplished and how far we have come together. Our language is indeed our strength, and the language of Nigeria, the culture of our country, Nigeria, and the African continent, the complex diversity of us as Africans and human beings living in Africa is indeed and can be viewed as a source of strength, not a source of division. I will go into a little bit about why Niger Voices is here and introduce the micro grants, and then we shall move on to the other agenda. As you are aware, we have an agenda, a very quick agenda that allows us to round up things in about 90 minutes. This celebration is serving two primary purposes. One, we are celebrating the linguistic and cultural diversity of Nigeria. It's important to celebrate it because history, if we look into history, there have been good moments, but there have also been bad moments where diversity is seen as a source of discord and disunity. With this event, we want to change that narrative and embrace diversity as a strength of the people, of the communities. And we are celebrating Nigeria's broad linguistic diversity in the digital age, in the age of digital technologies and AI and language preservation efforts. The second primary aim of this event is to announce our winners of the micro grant and to recognize the wonderful review committee that we had and the wonderful, super wonderful applications and proposal and ideas that we received. Thank you, and thank you to each and every one of you for your commitment to uplifting your language, your culture, your community, to embracing it and to creating digital futures with it. The NaijaVoices community is the community behind the largest African speech data set currently, largest in terms of the size, 1,800 hours, but more importantly, largest in terms of the number of speakers in the data set. It is the only data set that has, from the African continent, that has more than 5,000 unique voices. And this is a testament to celebrating the linguistic and acoustic diversities of the language. The NaijaVoices dataset is a speech text dataset. Speech text means that you have the text and you have the corresponding recorded speech. It's a speech text dataset for the three main Nigerian languages, Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba. Each language has about 600 hours of data, making a combined total of 1,800. The NaijaVoices dataset is a testament to the remarkable power of bringing people together and working together and collaborating to achieve a common purpose. A fun fact is that the recording of 1,800 hours of speech with 5,000 diverse speakers across the different parts of Nigeria, the recording was done in under 4 months. And this is a huge testament to the power of collaboration, community building, and data farming. I will go now into the ethos and some of the frameworks that surround NaijaVoices community and what we do as a community. And I just want to say this, when we say NaijaVoices community, it's natural to think, okay, who is the community and how do I become a part of the community? I want to make the statement, if you are, wherever you are, whoever you are, if you are passionate about your Nigerian languages, and you're passionate about ensuring a digital future for the languages and the language community, then you are part of the NaijaVoices community. So it's a grassroots community that's open to anyone and everyone with a passion for working on Nigeria's linguistic diversity, working on embracing it and ensuring its digital future. One important ethos around the NaijaVoices community is the word sustainability. To create real long-term impact, we need to think about sustainability. Sustainability allows us as humans and as an organization or community to continue to strive and to continue to create the impact. So in building the NaijaVoices community and the NaijaVoices data set, we really thought about how to sustain the community, how to sustain the languages, how to sustain the data cultivation. And giving immense thought to these concepts led us to the unique way that we created the data set and the unique way we are sharing the data set with the world, which has also led to other important growth strategies like this grant. The second, and perhaps the most personal and passionate ethos, is what we call data farming. Data farming can be easily contrasted with the standard dominant narrative in the world, which is data mining. When we think about data, when the world thinks about data, when different people think about data, it's very tempting to think of data as a precious resource, which indeed it is. And the dominant standard narrative around this precious research is, how do you mine it? How do you mine it at scale? This has worked for commercial purposes and capitalism and companies, but this does not lead to the upliftment of the communities that actually create and lead to these data. Data mining is an extractive process that takes and takes. And you can imagine a mining field where large trucks come and just excavate the land and mine whatever resources they can, and then go and leave the land the way it is, barren, and move on to the next. Please, can we mute the person who is? Thank you. In contrast, in building the Africa's largest speech data set with the largest number of speakers, we had to come together and reinvent the way we think about data. And this is encompassed in our ethos of data farming. I am sure that many of us here, when we hear the word farming, we have an innate understanding of what that is. Personally, I remember my childhood days where I was taught by my parents to go to the farm and till the ground. So you put in work to give to the environment. And then you plant your seeds. As we said, you sow a seed, and then the seed grows into something useful. And then you take that and then you grow back. So data farming creates a give and take mechanism when we are dealing with how we work with linguistic resources, how we create language data for different use cases. And the fundamental ethos of NaijaVoices is we should create on the ethos of data farming, which is we give and we take. And what that really means is back to the concept of sustainability. We are not just thinking about creating language data and that's the end. We are thinking about sustaining the community members that create the data, sustaining the data cultivation itself, and sustaining the language as we work towards creating these language data and different linguistic resources. This also ties in strongly to how we share this data with the world, because we explore sharing practices that to some extent enable sustainability and feedback mechanism to the communities that create the data. Data farming also makes us more human, because you don't think about data as just some bunch of CSV files or some resources that you can download and use for your AI technology. You think about the people who were involved in creating this data, the people who wrote the text, the people who recorded, the people who built the keyboards, the people who put the communities together, the people who funded the project. You think about all these people, and what I find very important about the data farming mentality is that it makes you think about, how can I give back? How can I give? As I'm taking, how can I give? What can I do? And I have learned that there is, each and every one of us can do something to give. It could be collaborating. It could be bringing more opportunities to the communities. So for example, that's why we have a WhatsApp and a Telegram community, and we frequently post opportunities, job opportunities, career opportunities, because many of our community members have the talent and they are looking for opportunities to better themselves. So it's very simple. The important thing here is that when you think of giving, it's not always about money. That's the common misconception. We think it's pay me, give me money. But what we have learned through working with a large community like the NaijaVoices is that there are different ways that you can contribute and you can give, starting with very simple, low effort ways like sharing more opportunities with the community, building capacity through events, workshops, training, awareness, connecting them with more opportunities for capacity, with with other organizations who are helping to build capacity. So the important thing is that people want a means of sustenance. People want to improve their lives. When we think of data, we should think about the people involved in the data and think about how to improve their lives. And when we think in that mentality, we are thinking in the data farming mentality. And this gives rise to simple yet effective approaches that help create sustainability for the communities. Okay. And some of the themes around data farming, empowerment. Data farming also creates more trust with communities, and it respects and appreciates the cultural values and identities that are imbued in the linguistic resources and language data that's created. So that's it. What drives NaijaVoices? Number one, data farming. Number two, sustainability. And how have we used the concepts of data farming and sustainability to grow? In 2024, if I'm not mistaken, we released the NaijaVoices dataset. We also implemented a unique sharing mechanism that allowed us to provide means of sustenance to some of the community members to continue to create more language resources. And that led to expanding our community to West Africa, including countries like Senegal, Equatorial Guinea, and also creating more language data for this time 11 West African languages. And many of these 11 languages are what we call tail end languages. These are languages that are unrecognized, undocumented, and almost getting endangered. But we were able to create linguistic resources for these languages. And also working on the ethos of sustainability and data farming, we were then able to, in 2025, launch the Language Heritage Microgrants. The Language Heritage Microgrant is dedicated to ensuring that all the Nigerian languages have a digital future, and I will talk more about this now. In Nigeria, and we have more than 500 languages. In my first talk, I talked about embracing our diversity. What does it mean to embrace Nigeria's diversity? It means we have more than 500 languages, but we only communicate and do many things or even know of just 4 of them: Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, and Nigerian Pidgin. What about the rest? We've learned that the rest, many of them are undocumented. Importantly, many of them are unrecognized, and societies do not value them in some cases. And as a result, many of them are entering the brink of endangerment. So our new mandate with the NaijaVoices community and our community members and our network of members is, what can we do about this? How can we change that? How can we ensure that every Nigerian language, no matter how small, find its place in our digital future? The reason why we talk about digital future is because the world is digital and is growing more and more digital. So you can think of it like, speakers, human speakers. Unfortunately, human beings have an expiry date. Human speakers will perish at some point. But to create generational resources and generational knowledge, it's to embrace the digital future. Because if we can create some of these resources, it ensures that posterity gets to learn about our language, learn about our cultural values through our language and our traditions, the traditions of the communities. For the micro grant, we are also taking a very unique approach. And our approach is, for the NaijaVoices data set, most of our community members were taking the roles of annotators and recorders and evaluators and different important roles. For the micro grant, we want to empower our communities to then manage their language preservation efforts. So they take more charge of it. And that is why if for some of you who applied for the call for proposals, we said that we encouraged you to connect with the NaijaVoices community on our Telegram and ask for collaboration. You see, collaboration takes us further. If you want to walk fast, walk alone, but if you want to walk far, you have to work with others. So we understand the importance of collaboration. That's why we encourage collaboration with these language preservation efforts and language data collection cultivation efforts. We really emphasize collaboration. Another important yardstick for the microgrant is we focus on what we call tail end languages. These are languages of Nigeria that have received little, very little, or even no attention in the past, because part of our mandate of ensuring that all 500 languages have a digital future is ensuring that the tail end languages are being prioritized and given attention. And of course, our ethos of data farming ensures that we are thinking about sustainability, value creation, and community-driven efforts in our data cultivation and preservation, language preservation. Okay, so with this, I welcome you to the award ceremony of the 2025 NaijaVoices Language Heritage Microgrant. This will hopefully be the first of many microgrants to come in the coming years. The vision is to have this as an annual microgrant where we have 2026, 2027, and annually we award inspiring people and empower them with resources to create their own linguistic heritage and document it in a way that makes sense for the community. I want to say a very big thank you to this year's review committee. We had an extensive list of 14 individuals from different parts of the world, from Canada down to the United States, down to Latin America, encompassing Europe. So really different parts, even down to Australia and the African continent. People who are dedicated to building communities, language preservation, the data farming ethos, people with immense expertise in the different dimensions around these themes. And we're very grateful and so grateful to our review committee. For want of time, I cannot list all their names, but we have recognized them on our website, and this short video is a preview of them. In the spirit of collaboration, we will encourage everyone to check out the website, check out the committee. They have their bio and their affiliations, and it's always possible to reach out. This could also be opportunities for collaborations, career opportunities, study opportunities, whatever. So there are avenues to collaborate and reach out there. Okay. And I will end it here. Thank you all very much. If you want to connect with the NaijaVoices community, the QR code takes you to the website. The website is actually NaijaVoices.com. NaijaVoices is one word.com. So it's quite simple. And when you go there, you can see all the other resources and different things we have. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Chris. That was really, really wonderful.
Thank you
That's
much, very
fantastic.
much.
Thank you so much. So we will now move on to another exciting episode of what we're doing. And as Chris said, our ethos here is data farming. So we look for ways of always giving to members of our community. And one very important way of giving is knowledge. So this phase, within the next 15 minutes, that means any reviewer who wants to talk, you have just roughly a minute to give us your opinion. We want to hear you. We want to hear from you. We want to do better. We want to be able to do a better work as people who write proposal applications. So we'd love to get some feedback from you. That's where we are right now. So any reviewer that wants to talk, please unmute yourself. Tell us your name. You have just 1 minute, please. And the question is very simple. During the course of your review of submitted proposals, the one you reviewed, tell us one thing, positive or negative, which stood out for you. During the course of your review of the proposals, tell us just one thing that stood out for you. And if that is something, a negative trait, what would be your suggestions? What people can do so they can write better next time. So now this is time for reviewers. We have just 15 minutes for this very episode, this activity. So please, we are on. Since I'm not really so sure,
I can, yeah. We have Victor
Okay.
Olufemi from Lingua Labs. Please, thank you.
Okay, good. So go ahead, please. Thank you, and respect our 1 minute.
All right. Hi everyone. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome. Hi everyone. My name is Victor Olufemi from Lingual Labs, and I was privileged to be a reviewer for this proposal. One thing, just to be very quick on that. One thing that stood out for me, and which I think it's a very qualitative trait, is having that showing that passion you have for the project that you want to do. So it means either sharing an experience or a story, but particularly the motivation is very important, and showing that motivation in your proposal gives a sense of passion that you have for that project. So I would say while you're writing your review, your proposal, let it show that you're passionate about that project, and it's not just something that you just want to do for the sake of doing. Yeah, I hope that that tip will go a long way for several other folks. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you so
much.
very, very much. Next, we have Dr. Saad. Please go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Saad Nasir Bashir, and I'm so glad that LAN Africa brought up something good like this, a fund that will, help others that wants to do a very good work regarding language preservation. And among, or let me say, almost all the proposals I reviewed were very well written, because I have seen a lot of way forward that people have the zeal, have it in mind that they want to do this work, but due to that, like, people do not have the resources to do such work. But all thanks to LAN Africa, because you have come a long way to most of the people here, and people, the people that wrote the proposals. That I saw that they really want to do the work. They wrote it very well, and I hope when if anybody that wins, I know they will make good use of this opportunity and do a very thing. I would like to reiterate on is sustainability of any work you do. You need to make it. There is need to make it more sustainable, because it makes little sense that you waste time and resources and do something, and in the end, it's not going to be sustainable. So I urge all the winners that they should, after being granted this fund, they should at least try to make good use of it and make the work more sustainable. Thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon. Firstly, I want to thank God for this opportunity. Now, going back to the question, because of the 1 minute I have, for the papers reviewed, the proposal writer actually were passionate about it. But at the same time, maybe in the future, we look at also identifying the methods and the particular problem that you intend to solve with the language, so that in case, I'm talking about the use cases now. It will also help to make the data set more useful, and it will give more credibility and to the data set being compiled. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I think this might be a good time to move on to the next agenda. Before that, I just want to do a quick shout out to some of our special guests that I can recognize from the Zoom. We have all our reviewers, our review committee members. Of course, we also have the Nigerian Languages Data and Science Tech Conference. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. We have Dr. Julie Boyle. We have Olanrewanju Samuel from Linguistic Ireland and Stony Brook University. We have Lingua Labs representatives in the name of Victor Olufemi. We have Dr. Miguel Marachimo from Common Voice. And thank you all for joining us in this celebration.
I think we'll just move on to the next item because we're really time conscious here, which is the announcement of the award winners. We just a little preamble. We actually received so many wonderful and potentially impactful applications that it necessitated lots of thoroughness and several back and forth during our 4-tier. We had a 4-tier review process. The first one generally was to weed out irrelevant applications that had nothing to do with the call. Then the second stage was to anonymize the applications and send to external reviewers. And it might interest you to know that each application was reviewed at least not less than twice. Okay, so after this stage, we now submitted the applications that passed through, the successful ones, to the next stage, which was where we now had what we call doability test. And what do we mean by that? Being able to, reviewers, we are looking at the information candidates provided, and then matching this information to check, do they really tally? If, for instance, somebody says you want to do 100 hours of audio data sets in 2 days, and you say you have 2 people doing it, and in your budget, you didn't even put money for the 2 recorders. So that's what we mean by doability review. And after this doability review, which we now entered the first stage, where there was oral interaction with those that scaled through that stage to still understand better what they want to do and how they intend to do it. And it was after going through these stages that we're able to now select 3 people for what we call the large grants. The NaijaVoices Language Heritage Micro Grants are in 2 categories. The first category is what we call the large grant, where each project that wins, we get 1 million naira. That is the first category. The second category is what we call the small grant. And here too, each winner will get 300,000 naira to, do your project. Okay. And luckily, we're able to get 3 winners for the large grant and 3 winners for the small grant. Okay. So
Sorry,
having
just sorry
okay.
to interrupt. Very sorry. I just want to
Okay.
add a preamble. I
Okay.
want to say everyone is a winner. So all the proposals that we received to do wonderful work around the Nigerian language, just the fact that you came together to actually think about doing a project and writing it down, that makes you a winner. What we are calling a winner here is, as
Exactly.
there are many important, impactful projects out there, we cannot fund all of them currently. And that's also what we are working on, to be able to fund more of them in the future. So we had to select a number. So these 3 awardees do not in any way negate the other work done by those not selected. It just means that we are only able to fund a select few. With that said, we highly encourage you, if your work is not mentioned here and you're still passionate about doing your work, to explore ways of still doing your work. And if there are ways, there will probably and surely will be ways that the NaijaVoices community can support, the community members can collaborate to still look into that and explore that. Perhaps we could look for more grants with you. We could write more proposal grants for different external bodies. So there are ways to collaborate. Okay, thank you.
Exactly. Yeah, thank you very
Okay.
much, Chris, for that wonderful addition. Thank you very, very much. Yeah. So, having said that, we'll just go straight on to the announcements of, I think we'll be using the word winners in quotes because, as Chris just rightly said, we had so many wonderful, fantastic proposals and ideas, but it's just that the fund we have for now is limited. So the documenting Ekpeye folktales, preserving cultural heritage. The winner is, or rather the PI, principal investigator, we have Dr. Owuma Ugu. We will still get back to these winners for them to give us just a brief talk. Then the very next person or the next project is future proofing baggy. Please permit my pronunciation if I'm not pronouncing the word very well. To language data collection. And the principal investigator here is Gamanel Adeyemi. Congratulations, Gamanel, and your team. And the next project is entitled Everyday Interactions in Ibono and Obolo Languages. Everyday interactions in Ibono and Obolo languages. And the principal investigator here is Rogers Katlem Ede. Congratulations, Rogers Ede and the team. While we give a round of applause to, these are the 3 winners for the large grant category. Now for the small grant category, I'll go on to also announce the projects that have been selected. There are 3. The first one is entitled Ehubo TTS, biblical text-to-speech dataset in Ehubo language. And the principal investigator here is Okachi Agnes Eze Mbe. Ehubo TTS, biblical text-to-speech dataset in Ehubo language by Okachi Agnes Eze Mbe and team. The next project is ATIAB AF1, preservable TIAB through community-driven speech data. And the principal investigator here is Raphael Musa. And the third one project is speech data collection for the Nupe language and its endangered dialects, Dibo and Takanda. I hope I pronounced it well. And the team is being anchored by Omar Baba Omar. Congratulations to all these people. Congratulations to the project. And while you are also excited and we are wishing you lots and lots of congratulations, we're going to hear from you. We are going to still call you in the order I called. And the question we want you to answer is actually very simple. That what inspired you to embark on this project? You have just 2 or 3 minutes to talk to us. What you're answering, what inspired you to embark on your project? What is the title of your project? And what basically, very brief, is your project all about? What are you doing in that project? I repeat, what is your source of inspiration? What inspired you?
Hello, everyone.
That is
Dr.
Owuma Ugu.
Owuma. Yes.
Okay, you want to go on?
Yes. Hello, everyone. I want to express my joy, my gladness for being honored to document the folk tales of Ekpe, preserving cultural heritage. That is the topic. Growing up in the countryside, in the village, as a young girl, I was part of a cultural event, that an oral history that related the traditions, the knowledge systems of the Ekpe people through folk tales to the younger ones. So, and recently, due to globalization, rural-urban migration, that culture is dying out. The storytelling culture is dying out in the culture. And we know that so many people have relocated from the countryside, and their children being brought up in the cities do not have the opportunity to have access to the knowledge systems of the Ekpe community being passed down through oral tradition, that is folk tales. So I have always had this dream, documenting these folk tales so that they can be accessible, not just to the Ekpe, but outsiders that will have the opportunity to know the rich oral history of Ekpe through their folk tales, knowledge system, the things that are taught, ethics, for example, moral lessons that these folk tales teach cannot just go into extinct. So I am really excited to have been granted this award. And I want to assure the NaijaVoices community that I will do my best. I will use the resources available to do a proper documentation, to do a credible work in collaboration with my consultant working with the NaijaVoices, Dr. Maria Ajiboye. And I want to assure you that we will do a work that will not just be seen as credible, a work that will ensure the sustenance, the sustainability of the folklore tradition of the Ekpe people. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, and congratulations once again. So quickly, we move on to the next project, future-proofing Bagi. That is Gamanel Adeyemi. It's your time to answer a question. What inspired you? What's the title of what you want to do? And basically, what is it all about? Very briefly. Now that you're going to have the 1 million to do it, what are you going to do? Yes. Go
Okay,
ahead.
ma'am. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I am
Good
Gamani
evening.
Nadi and the lead for Future Proofing Bagi, a community-centered approach to language data collection. Sincerely, I was never aware of future proofing any language until I came across the NaijaVoices project some years back. And since then, it has been a passion in me because I believe that if a language is preserved, the culture is also preserved within those languages. And that passion is what have kept me in every time I see a project that has to do with language preservation, language proofreading, future proofing. I am so excited about it because it means we are making something available to a generation that if we don't do it now, they might not be able to experience, nor know, nor understand what they've always been and what they are going to be. And the Gbagi language in particular, the inspiration that came with the Gbagi language in particular is because I understand and realized that the Gbagi language is underrepresented and somewhat endangered because of the languages that are more prominent in the areas where Gbagi used to be, even as a community. And so it was what inspired it. And for the grant, sincerely, I'm filled with joy because I'm even short of words. I and my team were shouting before we put on the mic because we were really excited. And I would really want to thank the organization. I really want to thank my consultant. I can't mention now, but once it's time and I'm able to, I'll definitely mention her. And also the team also. And we believe that we are going to ensure that we bring it even to pass and ensure that the grant is receive its worth even much more. Thank you so much, everybody.
So we'll quickly go over to everyday interactions in Ibono and Obolo languages. And we want to hear from Ade.
First of all, I want to thank all the reviewers and thank NaijaVoices community for giving me this privilege. I'm seeing it as a privilege to help a language, to help two languages, to sustain them and help them not to become extinct or to become completely endangered. What inspired me to do this project is that I'm always interested in languages. Well, when I was in secondary school, I liked speaking English, and I'm one of these to tell people. But as time went on, I began to see that there's a lot of knowledge embedded in. There's so much to be learned, culture, ways of life, ways of doing things in indigenous languages. And if these languages are not supported, are not preserved, they will get extinct and all the knowledge that is embedded in that language will be gone. So my interest in minority languages grew as I started working for my own language, which is Obolo. Then I lived in a place where this language, Ibono, is marginalized. Not only the language, but the people. The government doesn't do much for them. They produce a lot for the government, but the government doesn't do much for them. So they are marginalized politically, they don't have positions. And then if their language should be gone, then that is almost like an entire community being completely lost. So I see this, what motivated me to get involved in this work is to help that language, because every language has something to contribute to the welfare of the entire world. So let their knowledge be conserved, let their culture be conserved, and let the children come up to see that their parent once spoke a language and they can continue in that. So I'm very grateful. I'll use this. What I'll be doing exactly with this grant is to record the 5 hours of various different kinds of conversation in Igbo language, and then 5 hours of different kinds of conversation in Obulo. That would be a total of 10 hours. For Igbo, there is no alphabet there is no method of writing, there is no input method, which means even if you have something you want to write, a message to pass across, you cannot easily type it on your phone or your computer. So this project also wants to produce a keyboard that can be used in Android phones and in computers to help the people that speak that language to communicate with one another and to preserve their knowledge, their own knowledge and traditions and culture. I see this as empowering that community. This keyboard will be open source and it will be made publicly available. People will be able to download and use them for free without paying anything. And then they can write whatever they want to write and then share it with their friends, maybe preserve their language even more than I myself can do it for them. So I'm very grateful. I want to thank the NaijaVoices community for selecting my project. I also want to thank my project advisor. He gave me a lot of advice before I submitted a proposal. Thank you very much. I look forward to doing something great.
Thank you. Thank you. Your time is actually up, just right on time. So thank you. We'll quickly move over to the small grants. We'll start with Ehubo TTS, Biblical Text to Speech Dataset in Ehubo language. The team is led by Okachi Agnes Ezembe. Okachi Agnes, if you're here, unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah, and answer our
Okay.
questions. Yeah.
Okay, good afternoon, good afternoon, everybody. I'm so grateful for winning this grant. What inspired me to do this was the fact that I actually cannot speak my language like as fluently as I would love to. And there was no resource, literally no resource online for me to be able to learn it. I can't just go to ChatGPT and ask it. It does not have the resources for me. So it first started off as text data. So I went to the village and tried to get as much data as possible. And realizing that we could even do a lot more to make like audio data is like a step towards making my own language included in the future of AI and the future of artificial intelligence in general. So I am from Afikpo, Ebonyi State. I'm Igbo, but my dialect is a little different from what every other person knows. So if my own dialect is left out, then I am also left out too. So that's what really inspired me to apply. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. You didn't tell us about your project. Okachi.
Oh, I'm sorry. My project is on, we're going to build like a text-to-speech data set for my language on biblical data. And this is because the only like widely accepted book written in my language so far is the New Testament Bible. So our focus is just to be like, we'll start off with biblical text-to-speech, then we'll advance to other things later on. But our focus for this research is biblical text-to-speech data sets. Thank you.
Okay, congratulations once again. So we'll quickly move over to Atiab Aswan. Please let me know whether the pronunciation. Preserving TIAP through community-driven speech data.
Good evening, Ma.
Or
Good
what
evening
will you
to
be
everybody
doing? Yeah.
here live with
Yeah.
us. I'm very excited to be part of those that were choosing for this grant. And I've always had this drive to help to preserve languages that are endangered. And this was why I saw this clarion call as an opportunity to dive into this reality. And that is why I'm doing a TIAP of one, which is for the Atia people in Kaduna State. Now this project, or through this project, I will be able to document an hour of text data speech, which would help the ATIAP community, especially in this phase of insecurity that has plagued the ATIAP people, and also the growing depletion of the language, especially amongst the youths. there's this rising complaint that the language is dying down. So I saw it as an opportunity. Okay, let me come through so that we could have resources in the future where even if this language should go extinct, posterity could always fall back to something online. So I see this as a great opportunity and privilege and an avenue to make this a reality. So thank you again for giving me this opportunity to uphold this. I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Musa. We will quickly go over to the project speech data collection for the Nupe language and its endangered dialects, Igbo and Kakanda, by Omar. Congratulations, Omar. If you're here, please, let's hear from you what inspired you and your team, and then what are people really doing?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Umar Baba Umar. I will start first of all by thanking the NaijaVoices for granting me the opportunity to embark on this project. I'll be working on speech data collection for the Nupe language and its endangered dialects, that is Dibo and Kakanda. What inspired me about this project is the fact that it actually started as a test collection. I have seen that I'm from Niger State, that is the North Central, and majorly the language resides here in Niger State, and the fact that major speakers here prefer to speak the Hausa. I've seen many homes where there are Nupe language speakers, but when you ask the children there, they hardly speak the Nupe language. So this actually got me thinking, and I know the fact that there has been many attempts to document the language. There are many. There are people that have tried to write about the language, but this has not gotten the publicity we want. So I went to the authors and got them the PDF. They've written some books and actually tried to make a speech data set, a text data set of that is a parallel data set, Nupe and English translation data set. So after making the data set, I have been yearning to make it a speech data set, but the platform has always been the problem. So when I got to know about the NaijaVoices, I quickly jumped on it. So the speech data sets that I'll be collecting will be for Nupe and then Dibo and Kakanda. Dibo and Kakanda are lesser dialects of the Nupe. Most speakers of these languages are going extinct because this environment, they usually speak Nupe. So that's why I included the dialects too, so that it will entirely die down in the process. So basically, this speech data set, my another passion is to make it public to the NLP world, so that people can be able to build models such as speech TTS models that can be integrated into all our social medias, auto captioning models, so that these people can pick interest in speaking their language confidently. They will not prefer to speak the more dominant Hausa language. So basically, that is what my project is, and that is what inspired me about this project. I'm once again thankful for this opportunity.
Okay, thank you everyone, and big congratulations to the 6 people that will get funding this time around, and big congratulations to all those that, especially those that were invited for either the oral interview, for passing so many of these stages to that point. As Chris rightly observed, we had fantastic proposals, and it's just that these ones are getting the funding for now. Yeah, so at this stage, we want to invite, I think that should be Raphael Musa. Let me just randomly select somebody. Raphael Musa, please give us a vote of thanks. And after that, there'll be announcements. Or let me just give the announcements very briefly. All their
I can
awardees.
give that.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank you very much. So in very quickly, I want to paint a picture of what to expect to the awardees. What I want to say is that for these projects that you'll be working on, please understand that the aim is not just to give you the grant money and then you disappear and then work on your own. The aim is to work with you and support you. So it's a community-driven initiative, and that means that we're not just helping you with the money or the grant. We're actually trying to build a group, a community around people working on these different projects for the Nigerian languages. So what does that mean? Concretely, during the course of the timeline, so that's around August to October, and actually from tomorrow, we're going to put you in a group. So that's why you were asked to send the phone number and details, because we're going to put you in a group in Telegram. We're going to be supporting you in your journey as you're doing the project. So we encourage communication. Communicate with us what's happening, the different stages you are, the challenges you're facing. NaijaVoices community has a host of expertise. Like, we have created the largest African speech data set with 5,000 voices. So it's safe to say the community members have lots of expertise and networks around how can you create a successful language preservation project. So we bring community expertise, technical expertise. The NaijaVoices community is not just a community of people, it's a community of organizations. We have really wonderful organizations from Linguistics Ireland, Lingual Labs, Common Voice, Masakane, NLDSTC. So we can connect you with different other organizations that bring in different expertise that could be of help to your project. So, we're here to offer you what you need in terms of not just the financial resources, because you might already observe money alone cannot solve the problem. Money alone is just for you to start trying to do it. And when you start the project, you're going to face a lot of challenges. So understand that we are here to work with you. During the course of the project timeline, we'll also be sharing resources to aid in your project. For example, some technical resources of places you could consider if you want to look for a more sophisticated platform for recording. We have a host of partners who have built very wonderful tools that support that. We're also here for consultations, via the group that we are creating to offer consultation with the NaijaVoices representatives like me, but also among yourselves. With check-ins and checkpoints, we're also using that to ensure that you are meeting up with the intermediate milestones to achieve your goals and to understand the challenges you may be facing and work on them together. So please understand that this is a community-driven effort, and we are not just providing you the money to go disappear and do it, but we're actually trying to work with you and support you at every step of the way. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Raphael Musa, are you still there?
Yes, ma. I'm still here, ma.
Vote of thanks. Give us the vote of thanks.
Okay. All right. I want to appreciate the organizers of this this wonderful opportunity to see that African, especially Nigerian languages are stored and preserved, and for posterity. It is with great pleasure that I want to say a big thank you on behalf of myself and other winners. And we hope that this would yield positive results, and we'll see the dividend now and of course in the future. So my big thank you to also everybody that has supported us. I'm sure some of our guarantors too are here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A big thank you. Thank you also for coming, every other stakeholder here. I'm seeing different persons with peculiar tags. Thank you all for coming to witness this historical moment for us and for this platform. Thank you, thank you, thank you.